I recently received a comment on how the AI can take over territories faster than you can. I don't hardly ever have that happen, so I wanted to show you how I do it, and I am able to take over territories before they can do it. So this is exactly what I do to get it done. So we're just going to take the first start. Whatever we get is what we get. So now let's go ahead and let's plan this out. First thing we're going to do is start our normal build. So let's get our granary and our storehouse done first. While those are being built, we're also going to make sure that we start picking up everything off the ground so we're ready for the next part of our build. All right, with those two down, let's now get our logging camp up. All right, with the logging camp up, we got 3 people now working on wood. So now we need to get our food going. First, our forager hut and our hunting camp. While that is also building, I'm going to use some of the money that I have, and I am going to immediately get myself another ox. All right, now that we have 10 logs, let us get our first burger plots. Okay, there's our initial 5 that we're going to have to be getting rid of this settlers camp. Now we want to also get ourselves a marketplace going. Okay, there's our first one done. Now we need to get some firewood going. Okay, now that we have the 10 timber, let's get these 5 going. All right, so those 5 are down. Now I know the next things that I'm going to need are going to be a tannery, a sawmill, and a well. So I got to prepare all of that to get ready because we're about to also build the church. Once we have that done, our first initial stage is complete. So we're going to let these go, but I'm already going to start preparing to place all my other things. So it's going to be tannery, sawmill, well. Now that we also hit the first level of our town, we got given some equipment. So we got 20 large shields and 20 spears. So I'm going to already set up, I want to have spearmen. I think they are the best without doing a whole bunch of testing. So we're already going to set those guys up. We only got 10, so we're not going to go after the AI just yet. We'd like to get at least 12, closer to 14 to be able to survive really well. Your key is to get the bandit camps before the AI. Okay, now that we got our first 2, we can get our sawmill up. Now we'll place down our well. Okay, there's our 4 timber. Let's place down our tannery. Let's just put it here. What the heck? You can see we're only in the spring of year 1. We haven't even passed the first season, and we essentially have everything done we need to progress to the next level of town or village. So now that we got our 20 logs, we pull everybody we can off of jobs. We're leaving 1 person doing firewood, 1 person doing logs. We place our church down. We're going to have 3 people working on it. It's going to take a while because they have to transport all these planks and stone by hand. So we're going to let them work on that. So now we need to get our clothing done, which is really the only thing we need by the church. We want to get these upgraded because we're going to need them to get our next village going, which we want to get it twice. So with the church up, now we're going to go back to the honey ground because we're going to need more hides. We're going to put somebody back on the logging camp and back on foragers. So I have my people running the honey camp, tannery, so they're collecting food and we're getting hides for leather, while I have 1 person on getting firewood and another getting logs. That's all we're going to do right now until we're able to start our next part of it, which is upgrading our burgage plots and then preparing to go ahead and get our manor done. Okay, so we have our 20 timber and we should have enough now as far as clothing is concerned. So let's upgrade our 5. There, our 5 are upgraded. Now we need to pull everybody off that we can. We've pulled 3 people off to get that built. So to get our next part, all we're going to need is 13 log. That will get us our trading post, it'll get us our malt house, and it will get us our tavern. So that's why we still have 1 person working on the logging camp. Of course, 1 doesn't lead the woodcutters. We've got to have fuel, but everybody is now working as fast as possible to get these upgraded. So what you can do is you can start placing these down as soon as you get enough timber. First, I am going to build the trading post. Next, we'll put down our malt house. And there, we now have those 2 going, the trading post and the malt house. All right, there's our next one. Now, for this one, I'm going to do like I do in a normal game. I'm not going to do anything to try to skew this to make this look faster. I'm going to run it like any other game I would have. And then that way you can see that you're not sacrificing your late game to try to get this done super quick as a challenge. This is being done just like I would any other game to help me win quicker. We have the trade now set up, so as soon as that gets done, we can start trading. And the next point that we get when we are going to get our next size town will be the charcoal kiln, so we can get firewood pretty quickly. We have 3 left to upgrade, and then those will be done. One of the big reasons why I buy an ox at the beginning of the game is because now we're upgrading these. Every one of these costs 4 timber. Along with this, 4 timber. So while they're building, I have to bring all these logs over here, but they also got to go grab logs from out here. So that is one of the best things you can ever do, is get that second hitching post and get another ox. All right, so we just got our next family in. We have 7. This is technically enough now to go after the bandit camp. So let us take our militia and we'll send them after the first camp. Because we have spears, we want to be in position and standing still. We get a bonus when they charge into us. So we're on stand our ground. They're going to be sitting there. Now they're going to be full effectiveness. These guys are going to charge in and they are going to take a ton of damage. Okay, now that that is done, put them on run. There's nobody else out here. Get that camp and get it as quick as possible. Now with the first one, I always send it to my treasury because I want the money to start trading and upgrading. Now bring your guys back close to town before you disband them. Now with our second one, we're going right charcoal burning. So only thing they have left is 2 more things to build here, and they're going to do the trading post. Now we need to start off with now getting charcoal kiln ready to go, and we're just going to build it. Okay, our guys are back. Disband them. Now that we have money, what we can do is look for our upgrades. This is the normal setup I do. A couple of vegetable gardens, chicken coops, goat shed, so we get leather. Okay, all of our upgrades are now done. All right, so we got the charcoal kiln. Now what we want to do is we want to kind of spread our guys out to where we actually need them. So I've got 1 getting charcoal, 1 getting firewood, 1 getting planks, and 1 getting wood. Now for the other 2 people, you can kind of put them wherever you want to put them. Now what we need to do is we need to set up our trading. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of planks. We're going to get a bunch of them, and I do want a dedicated route. We're going to export, but only down to 20. The next thing that we're going to need is going to be barley, and we're going to do that only to 10. The barley is going to come in. We are going to make it in our malt house, and then we are going to upgrade one of these to a brewery, and then that is going to make our beer. So let's get our brewery. And there we go. With all of that out of the way, once that is built, then the only thing we have to do is get our clay pit, our stone cutter, and our furnace done, and we can build our manor house and have our retinue. Okay, we just got our barley in, so what we're going to do is get our malt house started. We could go ahead and probably build a tavern right now and get that done and out of the way. Okay, we got a bandit camp sighted. We have to go for it immediately. And there it is. So let's get our guys ready to go. Once again, I got my spearmen. I got them on stand ground, and they will pretty easily take them out. And because there are no other brigands on the map, we will then have them run. We want to get them home as quick as possible. Now, the first one we sent to the town. Now what we want to do is we want to send it to our treasury. We have to have 250 to start our next town. Now that's going to go to my treasury, and we want to get these guys going back, and we want to get them home as quick as possible. Now what we're going to go ahead and do while these guys are on their way back is we are going to prepare to make our manor. So we have our stone there, which is pretty good, and our clay there, which is really not bad. All right, so first of all, Stonecutter's camp doesn't have to be super close, but thankfully it is nice and close. And then our mining pit, we need to put right there. All right, let's get our clay furnace going. We'll just stick it right there. What the heck? So once the manor house gets built and we take out one more bandit camp, we can get our next territory. And we just began autumn. We still have 5 more months. We're only about halfway through the first year. All right, so we have plenty of stone. Let's get rid of the stone cutter. Let us get our manor house built. We want to get that up as soon as possible. So there goes our manor house. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a lot of people off of everything. We want to get this built as quick as possible. Okay, so we got that finished. So our manor house is up. All we need is that bandit camp, and we have our next territory. All right, there is going to be our final bandit camp, which is thankfully close by. All right, battle's done. We want to get down here as quick as possible. And now when we get this one, we are once again going to put it into our treasury. It belongs to my treasury, which now I can go ahead and lay a claim to that territory. So I've laid claim to the territory, and I also have over 250, because when you do lay claim to a territory, you have to have 250 personal wealth to make a settlers camp. We are only in November of the first year. I'm going to be able to claim this and settle it by the end of the first year. And there it is, November of the first year. We have our second territory, and we have enough money to settle it. So I hope this helped you out in some way. As always, my friends, take care, and thanks for watching.